Well, it's been a while since I've updated Ancient Archer, my little game engine I'm working on, so I figured I'd do a video on it because, well, the repo's private, so nobody really knows what's going on except for me, unless I actually make a video and tell you guys. So, figured I'd do that. Of course, if you do want access to it, you can get that by signing up on Patreon, but yeah, I don't think I'm just gonna leave it public anymore. Main reason, well, I had it public for like, I don't know, its entire life cycle for like 4 or 5 years, and there was not a single bit of help from the public, so I'm already on my own on it. There's no real difference to me if I make it private. This is kind of the reality of most developers. We just have to work on things alone. Even if you try to get help, you're not going to get it. So I just decided, I'm just going to do this because for the most part, if anyone's looking at it, they're probably just trying to catch up and steal from it anyway, so I'll just make it all private. And if you want to steal from it, you gotta pay money, huh? I say that all tongue-in-cheek, so hopefully no one's too offended by that, but if you are, I don't really care. But yeah, I'm just going through and marking a bunch of changes, doing a few pull requests. I've fixed a lot of stuff. In a recent update, I've been adding a lot of tests. And, I've been talking about tests a lot on my channel recently, but one of the big things about these tests is, man, I should have done this so long ago. Like, I've had so many outstanding bugs and accidentally introduced so many bugs when adding in new things, specifically because I didn't have tests, so I didn't realize that when I was adding in some things, I was breaking others. But now that I have tests, I'm able to actually fix things and make sure I'm not breaking other things, and it's been amazing. So just kind of working up a list of these latest changes for my building test branch, and there were a lot. Fixed memory leaks, added some switching skybox functionality. There were a few bugs in the cursor settings. I fixed a lot of texture loading stuff. There were some issues where alpha, non-alpha grayscale wasn't quite working as intended. I fixed some window resizing issues, and I improved the model loading efficiency. But just kind of making a little bullet point of all the main things here that is going to the dev branch on AncientArcher2 private. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I'm just, I'll run through some of the tests here. I guess, I got 8 of them right now. And I also did another big thing that was pretty important. I basically made a little program within the project called download test resources, because there's a bunch of models, sounds, and textures, and I don't want them to be part of the repo because they make the repo huge. They're model files and stuff. There's a lot of megabytes of just stuff. So I put them all on a hosted site, and now you have to run this download test resources before you run any of the tests, because it goes and downloads all of them for you. So yeah, that's where that is. It just downloads these runtime files and puts them in this runtime files folder. So now they're no longer part of the repo. They're hosted separately. And I basically just used some quick curl action to download those and do the thing. But yeah, I actually wrote most of this on stream one day, so maybe some of you actually saw it. If you were following my stream, then you probably did. I don't know if the VOD's still up there or not, but anyway, yeah, let's run a few of these tests. So I've got the test suite here. I'll just put it over here for a moment. And yeah, I'll show you kind of where it's at and some of the issues. So let's run the skybox one. This one's kind of cool. So basically, any feature that gets added or changed, I want to make sure there's an associated test. Okay, so here's the skybox test. You can switch to, here's a day one. I just got a camera that kind of spins in a circle and wobbles up and down. Here's the night one. Here's a cave one. So yeah, just basically making sure all the textures, or yeah, the cube map textures work for these. These are all cube map versions for now. And there's a little toggle full screen button. It makes OBS go black for a second, but it should load back up. There we go. So you can do that too. And then you just got to click yes to say it worked. Now let's look at the models. There's still a lot of render graph work to do. So that's kind of where I am now, as I'm back to the render graph, which I always come back to here and there. But now with testing, it should be a lot easier to sort it out in the long term. Got some fly controls here, or some first-person walk controls added in. And there's a little spinning cube with no textures, so that's the default color right now if you don't texture things. It can be changed on the fly. Maybe I'll even put that as a setting in the engine. But as you can see, in general, the texture load's okay. This guy looks pretty fine. He doesn't move or anything, but you can see there's a light. So this kind of also tests the lighting. I can move the light around. No great visual of where the light is currently, other than you can tell kind of where he's getting shaded. I also don't have shadows in yet. I've played around with shadows, but they're definitely not ready. I've actually got some other stuff I want to work out first. Alright, let's look at skeletal animation. We want to make sure those work as well, so we can run that test. And yeah, here's a zombie that's doing a little punching, so we'll just walk up to him. He is lit, so I do have lighting on animated textures working okay. Although, well, there's a few things about it, but it's kind of a lot to explain. So, yeah, I'm not going to try to explain it all. But basically, the lighting on animated models is a lot different, because depending on where they're currently at, you might have to do the lighting different. You know, they'd be the lights hitting them different. But it's not that noticeable though, so it's not super critical, but if I'm going for perfection, I'd want to sort that out. But it looks a little complicated. Here's a model mashup, just a bunch of different models loaded at once, including animated and non-animated. And we'll see, there he is. They're huge. I've got a guy over there that's just walking, and the cube just chilling. But yeah, this seems to work okay, loading multiple. It's a little slow, definitely needs some optimizations. But mainly I just want to get it all working first, and then I'll optimize later. Here's some sound effects, so I'll go ahead and play those, just make sure sound effects all work okay. And yeah, I just got some sound effects loaded up. It only supports OGG and WAVE, and, well, just not MP3 basically. That's probably really loud. Let me just turn that down a little bit. Little flashlight, gunshot, Metal Gear Solid sound. Alright, so yeah, sounds seem to work okay. And stencil outlining. This is the latest test I added. And I actually thought stenciling was good until I made this test. So just another important thing. As you can see, the stenciling goes behind that model, which is not supposed to do. Like if you have a model standalone, it looks fine, but as you can see, the bottom of that stencil is not correct. It's like in the floor. It's supposed to be in front of that floor. So that's not right. So it's something with the render graph. I've got something ordered wrong. It's the same with this guy. You can see a little gray outline around him, but once it gets to the floor, you can see it's no longer there. So there's a little bug in that. And yeah, so stenciling is not perfect. I gotta analyze what I'm doing in the wrong order there. It seems to be okay on its own, but as soon as you start throwing in other models, it doesn't. Yeah, so it's probably just one thing in the wrong order. That's the way it goes. And that's where it's at right now. So yeah, just I didn't really plan all this video out, so hopefully you find it interesting. I basically just was doing this for the day and decided to hit record and talk about it for a second. So hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and let me know if you have any questions down below. Feel free to leave a comment. It does help out the channel. Leave a like and subscribe for more code stuff. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know if you have any insights. And last but not least, let me know if you want to help out with this kind of stuff, because I'm always looking for additional help if anyone wants to do that. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.